In today's video, we're going to talk about the MoSCoW method, what it means, how it works, and when you can use it. What's up everybody, Helena here from Airfocus, the product management tool that enables you to confidently prioritize what to work on next, build and share clear roadmaps, and collaborate on strategy. Let's start out today's video by looking at what the MoSCoW method is and what it stands for. The MoSCoW method is one of the most popular prioritization techniques. By using this method, stakeholders can better understand the importance of different features in a release. The acronym MoSCoW stands for 4 different categories of initiatives: must-haves, should-haves, could-haves, and will not have at this point, or won't-haves. Sometimes the W in MoSCoW is used to stand for wish instead of will not have right now. Let's break each of them down and see what each of them means. The must-haves are the essential features that need to be included in the product. Failing to include one would result in a failed release. Should-haves are important requirements, but not essential. They are initiatives that are of great importance and add significant value, but are not crucial. Next, in the could-have bucket, you have your nice-to-have initiatives, as they don't quite affect the core function and would have a very small impact if they were left out. And lastly, we have the won't-haves. These are definitely not a priority for the foreseen time frame, and therefore will not be included in the specific release. In other words, they are out of scope. The MoSCoW model sets your initiatives by order of priority and can therefore be applied to any phase of the product lifecycle. However, it is most applicable to product launches, market launches, particularly early stage products, and MVPs. This is a good method to get the whole organization involved in the prioritization process, which in turn creates a broader set of perspectives by getting different departments involved. Now let's move on to how the MoSCoW method works. In order to run the MoSCoW method smoothly, your product team and stakeholders need to decide on the objectives and factors that will be decisive to the criteria. This will be immediately followed by reaching a consensus on what initiatives or features you'd like to select. It's also important to define how much effort should be split between the must-haves, should-haves, and could-haves. This typically varies by team and project, but a rule of thumb suggests that you should dedicate about 20% of your total effort to could-haves. Now your team is ready to sit down and discuss your initiatives. Let's look into them. We'll start with the must-have initiatives. The category name doesn't come as a surprise, as they will be the lifeblood of your product or release. These are non-negotiable features. Without them, your release could be a guaranteed failure. You should reach an agreement on how much time and effort you spend on your must-haves. You should focus on them, but you shouldn't allocate more than 60% of the overall effort. When deciding on your must-haves, ask yourself and the team, will this project work without this feature? What happens if we release without it? What's the simplest way to accomplish this? Next, let's move on to the should-have initiatives. Being just under the must-haves in importance, they are still highly important to the product, but not crucial. The product will still manage to function without them. On the other hand, you wouldn't want to leave them out as they generate a significant amount of value. To put it into perspective, you should include them in your release, but you could schedule them for a future release without having a negative effect on the current one. The could-have initiatives are the nice-to-have initiatives, meaning that they are not necessary. They generate value to the user, but they are not exactly a core component or function of your product. There would be no repercussions if you were to leave them out. And lastly, the won't-have initiatives. These initiatives are still important to take into account. You should always identify them, as it'll help the team decide what will not be included in the scope, thereby allowing them to prioritize other initiatives. They prevent you from wasting resources that your team needs for this release. The subgrouping of these is also beneficial. Perhaps there are won't-have initiatives that you will not include within this scope, but could be included in the future, and others that simply won't be included at all. If you want to take full advantage of the MoSCoW method, you can use a prioritization tool like airfocus with a built-in prioritization matrix. airfocus enables you to visually map out your priorities on a chart and transform your priorities into an actionable roadmap at the click of a button. If you want to learn more about the MoSCoW method and other amazing prioritization frameworks, you can check out our ebook on mastering prioritization. The links to airfocus and the ebook are in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, let us know in the comments section and make sure that you subscribe so that you'll be notified of our new actionable guides and tutorials. And of course, until next time, happy planning!